the call got held up.
Oh, no
So I
worries.
apologize for the wait.
Oh, no worries. Is there a way to confirm that something that was sent by snail mail either got opened or got put on someone's desk or something like that?
When did you send it?
It was possibly earlier this week.
At this point, I wouldn't be able to check that. It probably isn't even at the office yet because it takes a couple weeks to go through and to send it security.
Oh, security, of course, because of course I would never be putting some ricin in anything. Dear heavens, yeah, I totally forgot that. I'm so anxious to have somebody get involved with this great tragedy in the state of Oregon. Um, so,
What is the great tragedy?
yeah, I can't wait to have you guys involved. A disabled person with a traumatic penetrating brain injury with blindness in the left eye and hearing damage associated with the traumatic brain injury, equilibrium balance problems, and comprehension problems, beaten brutally by the Portland, Oregon police. Um, the blind eye was ground across the ground, bruised, swollen, and bleeding. The right seeing eye was almost gouged out, but he was able to deflect the push of his right eye into the furniture, and he was homophobically taunted with misogynistic and very vulgar and crude language during the attack.
Well, that is a tragedy. Definitely. Okay, well, like I said, we won't have received the mail at this point. But you're welcome to check back in.
Yeah. Because of this delay, I expected that somebody might be interested or helping us by now. May I put it in email? Because I can send an email format. I just don't know to whom.
Yeah, so actually the way to do that is just to go to the website, and that's wyden.senate.gov.
Okay.
And on the right-hand side of the headers, you'll see contact, and you can submit an email that way.
Okay, and that's one of those forms. There's a name for this where you don't have a record of your email, whereas could I just email his actual address versus use this form?
He doesn't have an email. He has a personal email, but this is the way to get in touch.
I'm from a legal angle. I always object to this kind of form because it doesn't leave the sender an e-evidence trace if there was ever a necessity for tracking what emails you've sent to whom, because that information gets eaten into your servers of this site. A lot of lawyers still use this kind of form, but I don't know if that's ever come up as a tech issue or anyone else has noticed that.
No, you're the first person I've spoken to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just think about these things because when you're trying to find so many like civil lawyers or political representatives to help, if you fill out their private forms, then you might think, oh, did I do Wyden or not? Whereas if I had it in my Gmail, I could see, yes, I emailed Wyden, and then I wouldn't need to double email him.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay, do you have any suggestions? I had actually sent copies of the story to DC, Portland, Salem, and Eugene, I believe, and then I'll copy it into this form. But any other suggestions for how to proceed? It's just really devastating at this point, and I'm functioning as a friend to assist the person with the disabilities.
I assume that they have a lawyer at this point?
We're working on that. That's been very challenging to get proper representation.
That's the only advice that I can think of.
Yeah. Well, I've heard a lot of great things about Wyden. I would hope he might get involved before my friend suffers anymore, or I don't know. I mean, for me too, I imagine you guys have a volume of possibly hundreds of people telling you about everything from like their lost dog to their zoning for their backyard or something. So I don't know if there's a way to like speed line the prioritization to a higher level, or if there's any way to red flag it.
Well, here's what I would say. I'd actually recommend that you call the Portland office, because that's the office that handles casework, whereas our office just handles federal policy. So if you would wanted something that would be changed at the federal level that might prevent something like that from happening again.
Yeah, well, it's just like the police never heard of the ADA, including the U.S. Constitution. They regularly kill disabled people in Portland. So this just is a part of the pattern that the DOJ has been investigating. I don't know that the federal laws are insensitive. It's more like the legal illiteracy of the prevailing cops.
Okay, well, so I guess because it is so much more of a local level, if you haven't already, I would recommend contacting the state legislature, because they would be able to have more influence on something that is laws that aren't being followed at the state level.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It's nice to hear your kindness and sensitivity in your voice.
Of course.
Thank you, and have a good vacation.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.